You dug your very own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Let's see, well, I guess it is. But, like, is it? I don't know if it's important. Because there is something else that is contradictory in this thing. This line of questioning is only going to tear the wound open further. These statements are as useless as the investigations of a certain detective. There is no need to record them. Very well. Please continue with your testimony. We're still gonna press everything else, but still. The room the victim was staying in overlooks the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor? No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself slopes downwards, which animates the main gate side of the temple and guest rooms in the back. Up to about the height of a two-story building. Yeah, you're right there, Pex. Felix does that all the time, and now Edgeworth is the one being doing this. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes. I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room, after all. So this is the big thing that's very contradictory, because we already have the autopsy report that says otherwise. What makes us so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears the witness was not mistaken then. Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. There's only two of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark. Oh, come on, it itches. There's like... You know what? Let's just get my hair out of the way because it itches. I think it's because my hair is just like scratching in my face. No need to be all like doing that. And I hope I didn't slam the headset too loudly into the table. It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is very powerful testimony too. She claims to have seen an incident in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only two things I can believe right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney. So the autopsy report says something else though, because... the body stabbing must have occurred after she was pushed, so no. Impressive logic, that is what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind to take another look at your autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah, that's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim in the courtyard, how did the victim then go and take on a 10-foot fall? I guess you should, but I mean, now I've already established her accent, you know. And I don't want to change it like at the very end here. Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? Ah! Oh, in that sense. That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And then she was then thrown out of her window and down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of struggle in Miss Doxname's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah, no, traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whips has caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious play of beard. However, if there was no blood in her room, then I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound punctures the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood will be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts as a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions. Order, order, order! Well, I must admit that this is a probable version of the events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all suspicion on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially on my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With a whip? Oh boy. All right, all right. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I did actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Army was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. At the time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the incident in which the victim was stabbed? Think carefully. This is very important. And it's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Ellie's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. So, you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-fleckled clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press on this point any further? Going back to your previous statement, you said you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I said I saw what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out. That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Army. Mystic Ellis was on the ground, and Iris was stooped over her. But the sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Ellis' body. It slid out from that gaping wound. It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place there. Is that really the case? I can't help but to feel that something is very out of place with this testimony. That something which couldn't have possibly happened appears to have happened. Yeah, it's plenty out of place. I mean, you just have to look at the sword and say, yeah, you can't pull that thing out easily. But we're still gonna press everything because it's Edgeworth. We don't get to see Edgeworth do the line of questioning, and there are some things. I'm searching for a specific line of questioning from Edgeworth, and I can't remember where it is, but I want to show it all to him because it's amazing. Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword? No mistaking it. I remember it clear as day. Don't you think it's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? Whoa! Hello there, ghost! God, that scared me! Oh, thank you for the raid with that is very much appreciated. God, that scared me. What? If all she wanted was to place the weapon in the hand of the gold statue, then there would be no reason to remove it from the body. Jesus Christ. There's a reason I suggested I put the that's like that sound effect there, because I wanted to just be notified properly with wow. Ah, thank you, Chaotic. So how are you all today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well with Yakuza. All that will have been accomplished is caused the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Jump scare raid, exactly. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma? That's... Indeed. That is strange, now that you mention it. I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So, what did you do after that, witness? Let's see. We have a couple more things here. Yeah, this is another judge. We're playing with we have the normal judge's brother, I think, is his younger brother, who is for some reason Canadian. Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct?
Let's have some real
And
fun.
thank you there for the follow. That is very much appreciated. Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know. 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with very prickly looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. I'm not sure I like that method of resuscitation. Yeah. Well, I wasn't asking for mouth to mouth or anything of that sort, but I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you. I shall have word with the offender personally. Poor Phoenix. What did you see upon awakening? Resuscitation. Thanks, Biggs. By a mystic army, you are referring to a golden statue, correct? Just stabbing someone with the Shichin shit or a sacred treasure is terrible enough. Reasons. Chaotic, just reasons. That is fine, Ghost. Thank you for the raid, and take care. I'll be streaming until 9, so that'll be your 8 o'clock. But to then make Mystic Army hold the blade? Surely a heinous, despicable crime. It is easy to despise something. Anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. No, that's not what I want to do. Come on, go away. There we go. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, is there a problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. Early in spring, for example, I often find myself... There isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are so many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary using Shichito from the army statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose those flaws in the testimony, then perhaps I can begin finding the truth. What about Godot? So we're going here. This is not correct. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. Oh, that'll be revealed later, Fix.
I found a spear.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen... Yeah, she's playing Nier right now.
Yeah.
Neotoma.
And I found a spear. So now I don't have just katanas. I have a spear too.
The weapon was thrust into it, up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I, too, may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep. should I so choose. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't have come out smoothly. Yeah, that'll be Francisca's objection. We also have the problem with the amount of bleeding. It is true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plunge of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would have been too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with a shichichito. I just can't. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop bloodlust. I am not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way up to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? I mean, I can speak a little bit, but like, it's a bit much with that one. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Order! Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could only have managed one, if that. But what does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can be only one answer. And that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the shichishito. Yeah, very rude to Phoenix. What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mystic Army was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by this scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the shichishito was the murder weapon. The seven-branched sword. I think I'll just go with that, the seven-branched sword. Jeez. Because that's what it means. Maybe the seven-branched sword was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. Your response, Miles Edgeworth? If that is so, then I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as if a sword-like object was found. Hello, Mina. Jeez, that Cleffa is just ominous. I mean, I don't really think that's a lurk. That's more like or maybe it is a lurk. It's more like, I'm gonna sit here and creep and just like stare, watch, plot their murder. Yeah, Cleffa does. It's like, this is my face while I consider whether or not to find my flamethrower. That's... Answer the question, Miss von Karma. No evidence of the kind was found. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A child with a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me? Can I say something? I just remembered something actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are going on about here? Yeah, it is amazing. I think I might just know where the sword was disposed to. You what? Well then. I think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister. It is amazing attention to detail. It is great. Impossible. I just love that. Just like, what else could this woman have seen? Yes, von Karma is back. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated that the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusty Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive the snowmobile after all. God, it is a pain, yes. But like, it is a little bit enjoyable to see him just like throw the coffee around. Just literally. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my old back and my age, you know? Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. The snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. So, the thing is though, it was snowing. Yeah, just drink coffee, just flinging a cup of coffee across the courtroom. It's great. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that if it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it a perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did you really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Oh. So let's just press everything again. I know where to like stop it, but we just need to get that all the things out of Edgeworth. Just milk Edgeworth for all it's worth. It is amazing to see him as a defense attorney. You're sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night, now could I? Yeah, it is Pigs, but hey, I mean, technically it's been like 5 years since he saw Edgeworth, so yeah. So, at 11, I decided to leave the Hazakura Temple. Her summation of the times is reliable at least. Please continue, sister. You asked Felix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. Seems that she is the one type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.